Hello everyone. In this video we will see how to take input and give output in three different programming languages: C, C++ and Python. So for taking the input we have the function scanf in C. We use cin with the extraction operator in C++ and the function input in Python. For taking the output, for displaying the output, we use printf function in C, cout with the insertion operator in C++. What is this insertion operator do is it sends the bit to the output stream, and the print function in Python. So for Python it is very intuitive. We are using print for printing the values on screen and input for taking the input. Similarly in C also it is a very intuitive: print for displaying and scanf for take the values. In C++ we have to remember the syntax cout and cin along with the insertion and extraction operator. So without taking more time, let's see how is this executed in all these programming languages. So this is the code for taking input value in C and displaying the output. So before taking the value we need to declare a variable. So here we declared an integer a. Then we gave a prompt or a message to the user that enter an integer. Then when the user enters the integer, on seeing this message, we scan it through using the function scanf. So in scanf, what the syntax is that inside the inverted comma we have to give the format specifier. This tells what kind of value are we taking. We are taking integer, float, double, or what kind of value should the compiler expect. And then we give the ampersand or the address of the variable where we need to send this value. Then the fourth line, this is nothing but displaying the integer entered by the user on the screen. Now let us run this code and see how it works. Execute, compile and run. Okay, so it is displaying the message enter an integer. So we entered an integer 34. Number is 34. Why is it showing this number equal to 34? Because we gave here the print number equals to %d and a, and the value stored in a is 34. Similarly, like here we were taking integer, so we use the format specifier %d. Here we have different format specifiers. We have %d for integers. We saw the example right now. Similarly, for float we use %f. For double we use %lf, and for characters we use %c. Let's see how we use these different format specifiers. So the code will remain same, only the value here at the place of format specifier will change. So here's the code. For the float values we are using %f, for double we have used %lf. Rest everything will remain same, there are no changes, only we have to change the specifier, format specifier. Now let us see how can we take multiple values as input at the same time. So suppose you have integer a and a float value b, and you want to take both as input from user at the same time using the same scanf function. So just give the user a prompt that enter integer and then a float. Remember that this sequence should remain same, the integer followed by a float. You should not change the sequence in any case, okay? Similarly, inside the scanf function, when we give the value of these format specifiers, %d that is for the integer and %f that is for the float, the sequence should remain same. So the value which will be scanned by %d will be assigned to a, and the value which will be scanned by %f will be assigned to b, and rest of the process will remain same. That is how you do it in C++. Let us now see how to take the input and display output in Python. So for Python I am using Jupyter here. You can use any other interpreter. The input and output code will remain same. In fact, any syntax will remain same. So let's take the variable a for taking input. As I discussed here, that in Python we use print for displaying values and input function for taking values. So let us first take the input using input function, and then we will display using the print function. For a variable a, we'll write input and then bracket. That's it. Run this and now see, all the processes stop and it waits for the user to enter the value. So execution is paused for a while until the user gives a value. So here if we give a value 2, then it will go ahead. Similarly, if we take one more number input and we want to display a message like we were displaying it using print. So here if you want to display a message while taking a value, we have to give it here. So we are giving the message enter an integer. Now let us run this. So see, here it was not giving any message, while here it gives the message enter an integer. So we entered integer, but we are not mentioning anywhere what is the data type. Like in C and C++, in C we were giving the format specifier that %d or %f, and in C++ it the data type remains same as of the type of variable. But here neither we have given the data type for A nor we are mentioning here like what kind of data should it consider. So it is important to tell you here that whatever the input is taken by this input function, it is always taken in the form of a string. So even if you check the type of A and B, both these are string, and so because these are string, so if you apply any operator on them like add operator, it will simply append the strings rather than adding the two numbers 2 and 4. So what is the solution to this? Simple solution is typecasting. Just write a equals to int a and it will convert a. Now let's run this cell again. Type of a, so it is int. And if you want to convert it at the time of like if we take a number, just write int before input function. So whatever will be the input, it will simply convert it to integer at the time of input only. And this is known as typecasting, that changing the type of any variable. This concept is there in C and C++ as well. So now once we have converted the A and C, both are integers, so if we add A and C, it will give 6 rather than simply appending it like it did here. Here it simply appended 2 and 4. Now to display the output, we use print function. So print, and you can give here anything. So print function is simple. You just have to like simply write print and give whatever you want to print here in the brackets. So that's it. There are six simple functions we need to remember: the print and scan functions, printf and scanf in C, cout with the insertion operator, and cin with extraction operator in C++, and printf and input in Python. So that's it for the input and output. See you in the next video. Thank you.